Okay, this is a bit of a how-to guide for surviving death in Vampire Survivors, or more specifically, killing all the Grim Reapers that crop up after the 30-minute mark, while also unlocking a few things that you may not have even realised were in the game. Now, I realise there are quite a few vids already out there on how to kill the single Grim Reaper to unlock the Red Death character, but most of the ones out there either require you to unlock so-called secret characters using some kind of cheat code that you type in, not my personal thing, or alternatively, they're exploiting the now out-of-date fact that Death once had trouble with various terrain types. As can be seen in this old video of mine where I could contentedly park behind some bookshelves at level 3 and keep multiple deaths at bay indefinitely. This is no longer possible thanks to recent patches, so it's time to do things properly. The reason for being such a low level in the past, by the way, is because of how the Grim Reapers work. They spawn at a rate of 1 every minute after you reach the 30-minute mark, and have a little over 650,000 times the player's level and hit points. This meant that previously, if you wanted to kill one, or more, and you didn't want to be sitting there pecking away at the health bar until sometime after the next Ice Age, the best tactic was to deliberately stay as low level as you could until you'd spawned a number of relatively low health ones, then quickly make a dash, pick up 30 minutes worth of map XP, power up through the roof, and nuke them with everything you could. We're still going to nuke them, but this time we've got some new tricks up our sleeve, and it won't matter how many hit points they spawn with, we'll be able to level up all we want during the lead up to them and still knock them flat at the end. So, to start, all you need to do is choose a character, any character you like, and play on the Moonglow map. As the time ticks by, the map will start getting quite distorted, you won't be able to miss it, but you don't have to do anything special, just survive for 15 minutes. If you manage that, you'll revert to level 1 and be teleported to a kind of a hidden level. Don't worry if you die here, it's now unlocked and we can move on. Next, choose a character that you think is tough at level 1, any character you like, and go to the level select screen. There should now be the secret level that wasn't here before. The plan is to make a quick dash through this level to the end. I chose Crotchy for this, as even though his starting weapon isn't really my thing, he has some pretty impressive movement speed and a free revive at level 1. Really, anyone will probably do though. So, I'm just going to let this run for a bit. It doesn't go for very long at all. While it does that, I'm just going to quickly cover what it is that we're actually working towards here. So at the end of this, once we get back to the normal game, we're going to have 4 new items on maps that we can run to collect. They'll be extremely spread out, so it'll take a little bit of time to collect them all, but they're totally worth it. 2 of the items will be rings, and 2 will be cloaks. Or at least, I think they're meant to be cloaks. They have their own abilities, some of which will be fine, but it's what they lead to that we're after. If you fully upgrade both rings and have a fully upgraded Lancet, you can get a particularly strong offensive weapon evolution, and if you level up both cloaks and have the Laurel, you can get a particularly strong defensive weapon evolution. Put them both together and the 2 things can pretty much beat up Grim Reapers without, well, pretty much anything else. Okay, so we're actually almost towards the end of the secret level already. It really is quite short. As you can see, it's pretty easy. There's the one guy that continually tries to zap us for token amounts of damage, a few beasties, a few exploiting guys to dodge, but if you get in trouble, the place is full of candelabras to destroy for some of the floor chickens, so you should be able to keep your health topped up, and hey, it's not like you're going to get lost in here, right? Coming to the end, there's a guaranteed item on the floor, one of those things that explodes all the beasties on the screen, like so. Then it's just face-off death. I don't think you can actually die to him there. Okay, then we're running off through the wall, off into the sky. In that little mess of stuff there, you can see the item we're after. And there it is, the yellow sign. That's what we're here for. So, get that, get a small golf clap from the game, thanks game, and fade to black. This bit coming up, by the way, it gives a little bit of gibberish text. Now, I'm not sure if it's like some other games. Legend of Grimrock 2 comes to mind, where the text can be translated for some kind of Easter egg. I don't know if the text is upside down, reversed, in another language, all of the above, or maybe it's just complete gibberish. Do leave a comment if you know what the story is though, yeah? I'd be curious, and I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that would like to know. Okay, finished with the secret stuff now, we're back to the game. From now on, any map you try should have those 4 items I was talking about marked for you to find, but just to double check, you can see in the unlock screen that there are a few achievements available that weren't there previously. Nicely done, you've just unlocked some more things to unlock. Okay, time to go kill us some Grim Reapers. So this run, the 30-minute mark is fast approaching. Here I've picked up all 4 of the items I was talking about, but I've deliberately held back the evolution of them to the last few seconds so that the DPS chart at the end reflects pretty much just damage against Reapers, in case anyone's curious to see exactly the kind of damage they can soak. I'm also playing O Solomio, if that's the way to pronounce it, as in my opinion he's the weakest of all the characters. That may not actually be the case, but yeah, in my opinion his starting flower weapon, even leveled up like it is here, is still just rubbish compared to pretty much anything else. I should mention that cloak thing following me. There'll be one of them guarding each of the 4 new items. They are quite tough, and as you can see, will even survive past the 30-minute mark, but they will go down with enough hits. Alternatively, you can just do what I've done here apparently, and run past them. Get the item, and then leave them for the end. They are definitely worth killing though, as they each drop a golden egg. Okay, so I've evolved the more important of the two things first, the rings, which as you saw gave me the infinite corridor. It's proccing here. Really, we could probably win with just that actually. Every time it procs, it halves the health of all the beasties in the area, which stacks with every previous proc if the beasties are still alive. And for Reapers, with their insane starting life pool, nothing can come close to it for damage. Not to mention, it's still pretty good at keeping the Reapers frozen, as you can see. Just running back to the level to get those golden eggs the wizard cloak things dropped. As you can see, feeling pretty safe now. Even if a Reaper gets past my freezes and everything else and manages to thwack me, the Crimson Shroud evolution I got means that their maximum damage is kept at 10. I believe this even stacks with armor as well, so yeah, their damage is almost negligible in the scheme of things now, meaning it's just a matter of time. 1 egg remaining to get. Just enough time left to get there. The Reapers, when you kill them, actually drop eggs as well, which is something I hadn't yet realised back when I was doing this run. So, last thing to talk about is what comes after the Reapers. When you defeat a Reaper using the Infinite Corridor method we're using here, the game sends in what the internet refers to as the White Hand. I'm not sure where this name comes from, by the way. Maybe someone looked through the code at some point, maybe it was just a catchy name that got picked up. Either way, he's a Reaper-esque creature, but not one that you can actually fight. He closes a gap to you at the same speed, no matter how you try to evade, can't be damaged, and doesn't actually hit you, but rather just sets your health to 0. Which is fair enough, I guess, as the game has to end somehow, right? They can't just keep throwing Reapers at you 1 a minute when you've got a build that's trivialised dealing with them. Don't worry though, if you're looking to unlock the Red Death character, probably the strongest playable character in the game, this will all still count. And there you go. Blink and you'll miss it, the Reapers just died, with the fight taking us a little under 2 minutes. Our very brief reward here, the game zooms in on our heroic tune, and we get just a few seconds of freedom with the map to ourselves, almost like an indie cutscene, allowing us to briefly bask in our overpowered glory before, well, the game says enough of that shenanigans and sends in the big guns. Here comes the White Hand now even, not much to be done. All that's left is to burn through a couple of revives that I had stored up from my Terragisu, and that'll be the lot. All that remains is to check out the damage charts for those that are interested. As you can see, even though we had the Infinite Corridor for less than 2 minutes game time, it still managed to do around 10 times the damage of all the other weapons combined. 1.2 million DPS is, well, that's just nuts. And that's everything. Hopefully this vid has been at least somewhat helpful for you. If you've got any questions, do feel free to leave them below and I promise to get to them eventually. And otherwise, good luck with your own game. See ya.